This is Total Warhead, and welcome to another early game guide here in Total War 3 Kingdoms. This one is with GSC in the 190 Rise of the Warlord start date. We're playing with Ultra Unit Scale Size, Legendary Campaign and Legendary Battle difficulties, and Romance mode. And what we've done here is we've been able to basically mass expand by turn 7 all the way to the Dai capital to take out Liuju. And then from there, I stabilized my economy and have built up a lot of money to then have gotten the pop-up that Daoshan event happened and Dong Zhuo died, and I was able to confederate the Dong Zhuo faction. And then from there, I basically built up my court in such a manner where I have Jiling, Uzi, who appeared as recruitable characters. Everybody else that's unique here either came from the Dong Zhuo confederation or from marriage on the turn 10 when I became the Dong Zhuo vassal. And actually, I've been experimenting a lot with this Dong Zhuo confederation, and I now found a way that you can actually make it happen without exploit, which is by joining war against the Yellow Turban Rebellion and then making sure you're best friends with Dong Peishan, which you can do that by joining war against many factions and marrying Dong Ming. And then additionally, you can also get it with GSC, primarily maybe only with GSC without exploits, because of his inspector administrative positions, helping you have retinue or free upkeep retinues, counting to boost up your military strength, because we needed to get it to 42 or higher, as opinion on this idea when doing the confederation is at -50. I also have acquired a lot of characters that we see here on our right. I have about 4 characters that have clerk, and with that you end up with a very nasty situation where all 5 of these inspectors are people who are generic that I don't care about having deployed in the campaign. Maybe Lu Jun, but I took off his items. And I put these people as admins with retinues on them, so what they're helping is boosting that military strength, and they're not actually deployed. Additionally, I have the White Horse Raiders, which is a very nasty unit. In fact, this army can take on a lot of stuff that you can face from early to mid game with ease. And then from here, I'm basically pushing towards the mountains to grab all of this territory. And also with Lu Bu, I need to set up an army with him, Ma Shao, and Sun She to start moving towards the west. Now, there's variability in this campaign. Things that might happen or might not happen. So, if Dong Peishan event, or if the Daoshan event does not happen and Dong Zhuo does not die, of course, you won't be able to pull off the confederation. So, in that case, what I would do is once Dai is reached, then I would actually push towards the Han Empire region here, this level 2 one. And then from there, actually, it's scratch, that's not that one. You want to push towards Bohai as a level 5 region, and then put a generic character here and boost up this garrison. Because what you want to do is, as you move forward towards Zhuanshao, you have a garrison that's pretty strong, and your main army as well, which this I built up without having to do the confederation. So then you can take on Hanfu and Zhuanshao together without taking a lot of losses, and from there you move south to eliminate Zhuanshao completely and Hanfu. Additionally, you can ignore the Han Empire territories here and then do what I would call a loop, going around the Han Empire this way, because I have 2 admins here that scare off the enemy from pushing southwards towards or northwards towards these areas. And from there, GSC's army will go and flank Hanfu, take his territory, and then we have a level 4 region to put a garrison admin in, and from there push in a single direction towards Zhuanshao, and then you complete sort of a reverse circular flank to take out Hanfu and Zhuanshao, while having built up all of these areas over here, being really good friends with Gongsun Zan, and having a good economy as it is to at least afford this entire army and be just about in negative income. So that gives you a pretty good high-level summary of everything that I've done here in terms of what you can do as well. I really want to thank you for taking your time to watch this. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you want me to try, things you want me to do different, and I really hope you enjoy this. Oh yeah, and before I forget, this is turn 14, so just so you know, you can do all of this by turn 14 if you wish to. The mods I utilize, you can find in a Steam collection that I put in the description. So you know, the one that affects the gameplay is the bug fix mod, which I think everyone should play with. Every other mod that is in the mod collection either makes scripts work, have a better chance of working, which is the core objects one, and the rest are just visual or quality of life changes, like being able to rename commanderies, being able to see commandery details in a pop-up menu, being able to rename characters if you want to, and others that are really useful, like also looking at characters based on their type. Mainly works for Han or bandit-based factions. But anyways, this will give you a good overall summary of everything. And then if there's anything that I would do different, regrets that I would have in terms of the decisions I've made in this guide, perhaps it is that I've been acquiring the peace deals with a lot of factions after declaring war on a lot of them to get Dongzhou to best friends by getting non-aggression deals with them. Now, the negative of doing that, and the reason why you don't want to add any additional diplomatic deals to getting peace with these factions, is that you still have the Han Empire as a vassal, and then anybody else that you put as a vassal. What can happen here? Yeah, Liu Bei's a vassal here. What can happen here is that you can end up in a situation where if anybody declares war on them, you're going to end up supporting your vassal if you want to, and by doing so, you're going to get a bigger diplomatic reliability hit because you're going to break these deals that you've made with these factions. So only go for peace and then add ancillaries, instantaneous money, things that you marriage, things that you are willing to give up without causing any reliability repercussions. So it might take longer to get peace, but then again, dude, you're like super strong, so whatever, you know, you'll be fine. So I would say that's like the main thing that I would do differently. But aside from that, I think everything looks pretty darn well. Let's go. All right, for this turn 1, there's a lot of actions that we actually want to take to start out. And I've completed them all, so I can save a lot of time, but I'll go over one by one with all of them with you. So, RNG items that we get, we're actually going to give them all to Gongsun Zan. Now, that's it. That's what it's going to be. And then we get a mission here to claim Han Empire regions and beware of Liu Ju and Gongsun Zan. It's kind of like the pop-ups for the mission chains for this faction. We'll keep track of them. And then we get a mission to defeat the first army of the Han Empire that's directly in the reinforcement range of Gongsun Zan on turn 1. If you actually have a chance to capture the general, you can. He actually is a rival with Cao Yun, which can help get him even more deadly combat stats if that vanguard is included in your own battles. So it's not a bad thing to actually get him deployed into your own army. If you don't get him, that's okay because you can just ignore him and you'll still be in a very good state throughout the campaign. You can also release him. And the reason why you might want to do that is because Gongsun Zan has very good instinct and authority values. So if he's leading an army and he releases characters, he can get really good traits from high instinct and high authority as a faction leader. As for Gongsun Zan, he starts with Brave, Indecisive, Determined. We can re-roll from the Faction Council Indecisive. Brave is great with extra HP for him and good morale when commanding. And then Determined gives him more HP and melee damage and gets a good chance of getting good, getting very friendly with characters that have Zeal or Decisiveness. He's at level 3. He does get more post-battle loot income, recruitment cost for ranged cav units, and starting rank for cav units, all of these faction-wide. He does get a total of 60 Wuxing points, mainly authority, then 20 in instinct, and then 10 in expertise. So he's got a pretty good overall stat distribution. His Gongsun Zan's armor is pretty damn great with the bonuses that we see here, and he has Dreadbringer, one of the best weapons in the game as well. Which, what the hell, did I just see like really high melee damage instead of melee AP before I clicked the weapon? That was so weird. So Dreadbringer does cause a steep penalty reduction to expertise, but it gives a massive bonus to melee damage, melee AP damage, and it's the second highest melee attack rate you can get with weapons. And he gives a character scare, which, okay, Vanguard can get scare from skills, mainly I think it's this one, Vengeance, but you can basically give this to somebody like a Cao Yun, who's a Sentinel, one of the best in the game. Give him Dreadbringer, and he can still maintain great combat stats, even with this steep penalty to expertise, since Sentinels have great expertise. Now, Gongsun Zan does not have unique abilities, take that into account. He does get Dignity, so he has an easier time acquiring settlements, and if units rout, they can have an easier time coming back or rallying more often after battles. And then Intensity, so his own retinue can charge faster, and his own retinue has 25% more battle running speed for mobility. And he starts with Roar of the Beast, which combines really well with night battles. So you can basically almost be able to auto-route an entire garrison if you pop Roar of the Beast and you have night battles activated. Additionally, you start with 2 Sentinels, great ones, in that they either start Wisdom of the River and night battles, and then Scholarly and Stubborn for Unbreakable. And then the male strategist Has even more ammunition for his own retinue, which goes well with artillery. He does have, if he's in a leadership position, plus 15 military supplies faction wide. He also has clever, and then he does have resourcefulness. So if you give him an artillery, he can have flaming shot, which is another morale debuff that you can give to the enemy from artillery shot, and then a pretty good explosive damage to take out enemy units. You start out with a commander. I released him because even though he starts with Unyielding Earth, which is a great ability, I didn't want to keep him because it's hard to maintain his satisfaction, and we really don't have a utility for him until later in the campaign. So that character salary will just keep being there, eating up money every single turn in our campaign. We also start with this Vanguard here, who's pretty good. He has Fulfilled, Selfless, and Disciplinarian, and he starts with Flames of the Phoenix and Reach. So if he's actually deployed, he can have initial time reaching locations with a 25% extra campaign movement range. And then we got Sao Yun. He's one of the best characters in the game. He has great armor. He starts with the Heirloom Spear, a great weapon. What we want to do is actually give him Dreadbringer, so we're going to switch this weapon right now before we click the end turn. And his expertise did drop, but he now has, instead of 39% melee evasion, I remember that, he has 30%, but now his melee AP damage is really nasty. And he does have Zeal already, so even more melee AP damage for his own army, and melee attack rate. So with great melee evasion, which we can keep increasing, and great AP damage and melee attack rate, he can cause a lot of damage on the enemy and sustain. He does start with Flames of the Phoenix. That's a Vanguard ability on a Sentinel, which is great. He also has Perception, but what we want to do is keep working onwards to get Elemental Vigor on him. So this with Unyielding Earth is nasty, because you need to be in combat in melee or engaged in a duel, and basically it's a buff to melee AP damage and melee evasion over time that increases in magnitude every 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds to permanent bonus, as long as you're in melee or engaged in duel, and you can get Unbreakable after those 30 seconds, which works well with Unyielding Earth, as Unyielding Earth lasts for 30 seconds, so you can have 100% melee evasion, and then once that wears off, you'll be on phase 5 here to get these bonuses that we see here. And he also can get Atomer Resolve, which will then combine well with Elemental Vigor after Unyielding Earth dies off. So those things are really good to use, and then you can reduce the time on the cooldown ability time of Atomer Resolve and Unyielding Earth to keep popping it in case he gets out of duels or whatever, with Stifling Deluge ability. Actually, no, Aspiring Surge ability from Strategist, which some of them that we can get can have that. Now, you see that there's another character here that I got. So I did get this commander married with Gongsun Zan. The reason for that is because I want to be very friendly with Gongsun Zan, like really high up, if we can get to best friends, because he can have a chance on turn 1 to be trusting or underdog. If he's defiant, you gotta be very careful with him. You can get him really friendly to avoid him from declaring war. And I got a military access with him. I got a trade agreement. You can get it on turn 1 after you grab this Iron Mine. And then I give him ancillaries to keep working up his friendliness as high as possible. Now, before I did the marriage and the military access, I actually got him trending towards over 50 attitude. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted to be able to get to very friendly in order to get more deals with him. Actually, I believe that I did first the trade agreement, and that's what trended him above 50. And then I did get him to very friendly, and I did the military access and the marriage. Now, that's the only person that I really wanted to do deals with to get him really friendly with us. I don't want a war declaration from the north, as I'm going to be doing a loop on the beginning of the campaign around these settlements this way and get all the way to flank Juan Shao from this area and take him out. So take that into account. Now, in terms of everything else that was done, I appointed Sao Yun as an administrator to build up this location as fast as possible. And it's building up, I'm building up a state workshop here to get industry income. This is a trade post, a trade port based location. We don't necessarily want to put anybody here that's like, you know, boosting up industry income. We really want to boost up commerce, but we want to get the construction cost reduction from a sentinel based administrator. So Sao Yun is taking advantage of being an industrial inspector. These 5 positions that you see here correspond to each of the 5 different types of generals in the game. They are administrative positions that provide additional buffs for the respective positions that you see here, and the characters that are in these positions also give the respective administrative buffs like extra commerce income, industry income, more food in the administrative commandery, etc. But what we get from these positions is, for example, for sentinel based guys, we get a -1 construction time for the respective artisan colored buildings, and there's -1 construction time for each of the other type of colored buildings depending on which of the general colors that you put in these 5 positions. And depending on each of these positions, you can get more income from the corresponding income type of that color, or you can get recruitment cost reduction of minus 15% for a vanguard and military inspector if he's an administrator. And then for government inspector, which is commanders, you can get 25% more income from peasantry, while agricultural inspector actually gives more food production. So that gives you a good summary of these positions. These characters also do not have administrative upkeep, which is about 250 per turn. So you can save a lot of money and build up your military strength, because if you put administrators that are not deployed and get a full retinue on them, that'll help boost up your military strength, as you'll have more combat potential on the campaign map, either passively as an administrator or deployed. All of these help boost up military strength in diplomacy. So what I did on turn 1 with the army of GSC is I didn't disband any of the units he started out with or Sao Yun's units. I auto-resolved against the general that was here, and I pushed to this settlement up here, and then I disbanded all the units after I did all the deals with Gongsun Zan. And then from there, I also recalled Sao Yun because he was really weak from the auto-resolves that I just did. And I moved GSC out of the settlement so he can reach the trade port without any issues in 2 turns. And then aside from that, if we look at everything else that was done, I dismissed that commander. All right, what else is there? Missions completed. I killed that guy in battle. And then I got this pop-up of Glorious Victor for winning a battle, so more experience over Gongsun Zan. Completed another mission. I believe that's all I can really tell here. And oh, the reason why I was able to marry this Gongsun Zan guy into our faction is because the wife of GSC starts out married to him and they have a kid. So once I divorce her, she's a distant relative. There's only one character in the game that's bugged at the moment that does not work like that, and it is Lady Shi. She's actually not a distant relative when she divorces Shi. So that should be it here. Nothing else to really talk about in terms of what we want to do. In terms of that commander, the reason why I wanted to get a auxiliary guy for no reason is to get him southwards. See if I can get another trade agreement, if possible, with another faction like, say, Kong Rong down here. If I need to. Right now I only have one trade agreement and we're good with that. So anyways, we'll get this trade port next, and then from there go to war against Liu Yu once we get the pop-up to declare war against him. Thank you very much for watching this turn 1. Let's continue. All right, for this turn here, what I've done is GSC was standing right where Sao Yun is. I deployed Sao Yun into his army, and then I clicked the button of move selected retinue outside of the force. So I left Sao Yun here. The reason for that is because in a few turns, this Liu Yu guy is gonna go to war against me from a from a dilemma, and I'm gonna select to go to war against him, but I'm gonna trade this iron mine to him the turn before. So then Sao Yun by himself can take back the iron mine, and I can get a lot of money back from Liu Yu from grabbing back this iron mine location. And then I called in the 2 strategists that have fire arrows, night battles, and flaming shot, which will be a pretty deadly combo for morale purposes to take out the enemy. And we can try to take this location here, which is pretty easy one to grab. And what I did is I disbanded the units, the infantry units that the 2 strategists started out with, so I maintained the highest amount of movement range possible with this army. And I moved them completely out into enemy territory, and then try to be able to get this region. Let's actually get all the way over here in case I mess up this. In case I don't get it. And then in terms of everybody else here, what I've done is one of the characters that appears available is this lady, Lo Juanshu. So she's good because she has abundance. Right now you're gonna suffer from very low food and very low level commanderies. You want to get them to level 4 to be able to sustain if Juan Chao pushes towards you in like after turn 10-ish. So by getting this person in deployed with economic inspector position, you can get +5 food. And what I'll do is I'll move Sao Yun towards Guanyan, which will cause a steep satisfaction penalty to him. And then this lady, who I also gave a title of patrol commander, so she's pretty big in salary to try to maintain, I'm gonna put her into Jue Peiping here in order to get this location with more food and a higher multiplier to commerce income. And then I'm deciding to build a large town right now because I want to get this place up to the highest level possible as fast as I can, taking advantage of the economy grows assignment, or sorry, what do you call it, a bonus. I have 3 turns left, and then I can get a chance to get this up to a small town in due time in order to be able to get it up to a high enough level. But then I can get labor constructed, get it to level 3 by turn 10, and then be able to get slave mobilization to get -1 construction time for our faction, which is going to help us build up this commanderies that we're going to grab a lot faster. So that is it here. Let us continue. All right, here I finished instantly constructing the large town, and then I'm building up the communal workshop to take advantage of the -2 construction time that I have at the moment for 2 more turns. And then once I get the communal workshop constructed, actually, you know what? We're going to hold off on this because I think I can build the trade port ASAP. And then I have, how much is this? $1,000? I'll see if I can actually afford building both of these this turn. Let me actually take this off, and or what I'm saying is instantly build the trade port if I can. So we're gonna do this battle here against this settlement, and before doing the battle, just make sure that you've equipped back or giving to GSC the heirloom spear so he's ready for the battle. And then over here, I have Sao Yun in camp stance because I'm gonna trade this region over to Lu Yu. Actually, let me do it now before I take any HP damage. So let's go here. And then we're going to trade territory because the next turn is when we get the pop-up to go to war against them. So we're going to give him this. It's a positive 13 to make it happen. Let's request payment. Oh, I hate with this little bug. Let's request. Okay, dude. Come on, man. There we go. Jesus. Okay. So you can get about $1,300 from this deal, and we'll get back this settlement the next turn. The only loss that we're going to have is population growth, but this settlement should have very low population growth right now because we really didn't have a chance to build it up. So we can just take advantage of this deal that we just did here. And now we're going to keep this guy where he is right now, Mr. Sao Yun. And then on this front, we're going to push to grab this trade port this turn. And from here, we're going to select the night battles to lower the morale of all these units by -15. And remember that GSC has Roar of the Beast, which is gonna make this easier to do. Okay, I've put everybody to hide all the way back here, and now let's begin by going all the way towards this area. Okay, remember that the most valuable spot to grab in the map is the capture point over there. Go.
The enemy warriors are running! Ah!
There we go. We gotta make sure the unit is shattered completely like that. Very good. Alright, this will make it easier to route everybody. There we go, that should do it. So you grab this to reduce their morale, you charge in, and then you do the Roar of the Beast in order to auto-route every unit that's left in the battle. And since we didn't take that much losses in combat potential, the net differential that we get here from winning this battle is great, so we get a heroic victory, which if there was a general, we get a higher capture chance of grabbing them. Okay, and then what we've done here is recall the 3 generals that were in the battle that grabbed this settlement, so I can redeploy them to go to war against Lu Yu. I also called in the lady that I recruited on turn 2, so I can use her as a deployment general for those 3 generals to actually get closer to this settlement. And also, I want to get Sao Yun closer towards this area in order to engage this settlement next. So aside from that, nothing else to do here. We'll just grab this settlement with Sao Yun and then continue from here. Additionally, I instantly constructed the first port level or the second port level here. And now I'm building up the 3rd port level. I still have 2 turns left of the economy grows. So I want to get this instantly constructed the next turn and then instantly construct the communal workshop next, and then get the small city starting construction for it. So I can get all of this up and running, and then economy growth will be gone, and then I'll also recall Gongsun Zan, so I can put another person on assignment or anything else that I want to do here. Let's continue. All right, it is now turn 4, and just so you know, if you don't have 3 total regions, then you don't get the gain momentum finished here, and you don't actually get the pop-up to actually declare war against Lu Yu. We're gonna do it right now, and I moved Sao Yun closer towards this army to get reinforcement and get the experience. And then Gongsun Zan I deployed along with his wife or ex-wife, so I can get him leading and basically get more experience for him. And let's move forward here, declare war against Lu Yu, and then Sao Yun should be there. We go. Wow, it's actually a freaking heroic victory with everybody involved. That's crazy. I didn't notice that would actually happen. Huh. Okay. So definitely a heroic victory can be done here, and I think that will be possible. And we can just take this here. I think these girls are gonna get really low health. We'll see how everybody ends up after this battle. Tao Yun's the one that worries me, as I wanted to use him for auto resolve to grab the Iron Mine. So let's see how he is.
Reason can
Okay,
be stronger than steel.
Damn, that's a lot of money. And wow, we didn't capture Liu Yu. I'm actually very surprised, even if that's a heroic victory. Yeah, because I wanted to execute to get the Dignified Raiment or one of his items here, but we didn't get it. So there's that. So we can get more money from him.
Release the prisoners.
And his army's still around. It is extremely weak at the moment. We can definitely continue chasing him. Let me see. Can I actually... Oh, we're stuck inside the Iron Mine. Okay, so let's see here. If we go here, we should be able to win this even without him in the battle. And then let's go this way.
The white horses.
And then you don't necessarily want to always chase off armies. And with that, he's hurt.
And victory.
Oh, that's a lot of money. And then what did we get? Dignified Raiment. And we still didn't capture him. Decisive victory. Okay.
Let the captives
All right, so
go.
with that, we got all of that done. And then if I want to get all the way over to grab this region, it's going to take about 3 turns going from this area. That's okay. Let's go over here. And then from there, we got wow, another heroic victory. Holy crap. So now we got the Iron Mine as well in our grasp. And then Occupy. We have it back. And now we have 3 settlements, so we get minus 20% recruitment cost in this region. Or sorry, faction-wide. And then we also get even more. So it doesn't stack in magnitude, but the turn duration continues. Every time you get more, you gain momentums. So now we're going to have 6 turns of you gain momentum. And then, because we already had a character on assignment, and now we have to reach second marquee, which we will do. Now, something that I want to do, though, is we have our first potential reform that we want to get. I definitely want to build that mine as fast as I can, and also build up my economy. So these 2 guys here, along with the -1 construction time here, are the highest priorities of things that I want to build in the campaign. Let's get the minus 20% construction costs of mines to get that up and running. And then I want to finish constructing this port. And then I also want to build a communal workshop right now, and then build a small city. And I'm going to be done with this region for a while. So I'm going to recall Gongsun Chu from this area, because I actually want to deploy him towards this commandery over here. Now, to make it happen, we're going to abuse the deployment of a couple of characters here to just be able to reach this region faster. So these ladies are definitely hurt, or I need to recall them. And then Gongsun Zan, I need him to be able to reach this location over here the next turn, along with Sao Yun. So let's recall him and him as well. We have nobody deployed at the moment. And in this area, we have enough money to deploy a couple of people. Let's get him into the... Oh yeah, by the way, Lu Ji appears sometimes, and he is very expensive to deploy. Now, he is a great character. You should always try to get him. If you're running low on money, okay, just don't necessarily get him. You have so many good characters as it is. And I've done some early game guides where he actually does not appear when you play GSC. So just take that into account. Now, coming back here though, let's get somebody with low amount of money deployed like him. And then let's get him as close as possible that way. And then I just need one more person. Reach the maximum number of deployment people this turn. I should be able to get somebody the next turn. So we have enough money actually to be able to recruit Uzi at the moment. So let's just get him. He's willing to spy for us, so he's not going to be a turncoat. Simon is also a good character. He starts out with Shi in the south. He does have Wisdom of the River at night battles, but we already have that. We necessarily need somebody else doing that for us. We're going to get Luzi. He is great if we actually are able to put him as faction heir, because of just how much of these bonuses that he gives. Plus 10% more character experience, starting rank for all units, and plus 6 morale. All these things are great. Now, at the moment, though, he is really unhappy, and we really got to try to make him happier. And he's not part of our family tree, so I can't really actually marry him with anybody at the moment, unless I divorce Sun Jin Ting from Gongsun Gun, who's not really doing anything at the moment. And then I can basically get this marriage to happen. But anyways, continuing here, we can put this guy into this position over here for now, just to make him a little bit happier, just to sustain him. And then from there, we should be able to get everybody into a position where everybody's pretty damn happy and in a good position to move forward. And then we see that the Vanguard here is a bit low satisfaction at the moment. We'll have to manage that. And in here, we're gonna lose the minus 10% construction cost here from your economy grows. Sorry, minus 20% construction cost from your economy grows. So we'll definitely won't be able to use that for the Iron Man, as we don't have any more money to utilize at this moment. And if we look at Luzi, aside from those traits or those bonuses that I mentioned that he has, or that you see here, he has 60 Wuxing points, which is great. He has Scholarly, Trusting, and Sincere, good combo. And he also has patience and precision, flaming shot, and judgment. So his missile units are going to be really strong. He starts out with 2 phenomenal units in the Destroyers of Treasury and the Defenders of the Empire. Really expensive, but great units to have. Just take that into account. So anyways, that is it here. Let's continue. All right, and continuing here, I've deployed back the generals here that you see, GSC and Sao Yun. I put GSC leading this army. I've got them as close to the border as possible to engage this settlement next. I also divorced from GSC's ex-wife, the commander from Gongsun Zan's faction, and I got him out of the, and I removed him from the faction. And then I did a lot of shenanigans in the court. I married Lushi to Sun Jin Ting and then made him heir to get all of these crazy bonuses that we see here available to us. And then I also put Sao Yun to Chancellor to then open up an economic inspector position so I could get the +5 food and extra income from commerce in my capital location. And that'll help me get this location basically with more food to help build up my commanderies more easily. Sao Yun has no position at the moment, but he's okay in happiness because I have so many freaking heroic victories and friendships with people in the army that he's actually pretty happy. As for who's really unhappy, it's Gongsun Chu, my ex-heir, who is really unhappy. So I gave him 200 more character salary, which in turn I'm actually saving some of that money at the moment, as Lucy is an heir now, so $150 per turn are not being utilized at the moment. And I want to take into account as well that we get into a position here where you might not see Lu Ji in your campaign. If you do, that's great. Keep him. Now, if you don't see Lu Ji appear, keep Sun Jin Ting married to the Gongsun guy of Gongsun Zan's faction to maintain happiness with him as high as possible. Because if you get underdog and you have a marriage with him, you have a very good chance to be able to vassalize him once you get to Marquis. Now, given the shenanigan that I did of trading this region over to Liu Ju before I was at war with him, or before I saw the dilemma to declare war on him and get the +80 diplomatic relations with Han Fu to happen, I actually broke that mission chain, so I did not get the +80 relations with Han Fu, which is okay. I don't necessarily need it because I want to grab all this territory around here, so then I encircle or push towards Juanshu directly this way, while I build up a garrison here with Juanshu here in order to get him to not be able to push forward to my own regions, or he basically stops short of pushing because of how strong the garrisons are in these areas. And from there, I just keep blitzing around these areas, take out Han Fu and Wang Quan, get all these great commanderies that are like utility kind of. And then we get some of the best commanderies in the game, which are in the mountains. Now, continuing here though, let's actually move forward to grab this region. And we see that nobody's deployed here, so we can just do the battle in auto resolve. We're gonna take some big hits to the strategist in HP. That's okay. And then from there, we're gonna occupy. And now we have this region for us, and Sao Yun has been able to get a little bit more experience from that battle. Okay, and then this is where things get nasty. Now, I want to get Zeal so I can help GSC be stronger in battle, but also now Sao Yun has extra AP damage because Zeal gives 10% more Zeal or AP damage for entire army. And then Sao Yun leveled up as well. Let's continue leveling him up to get to Elemental Vigor as fast as we can. I also gave Jiang Gan, who's low on happiness, the Stone Pig that Sao Yun had. That's gonna help me a little bit, at least there. And then continuing here, we do have some food being produced here, but we don't necessarily care about these buildings right now. Let's demolish this one at the moment. Let's get Gongsun Shu here to reduce construction costs, and then I'll redeploy Sao Yun here to reduce construction costs by -20% in this location, so I could get -30% total construction cost reduction in this iron mine that is here. And then I can continue pushing towards Lu Ju and completely take him out in a turn or two. And then aside from characters that are deployed or not deployed, we can definitely get some more people deployed here if we had the money. I think that'll be it in terms of these characters. I can get her deployed, and the advantage is basically that she gets more character experience, so I can get her leveled up a little bit faster. Let's just get her deployed, and then we'll try to grab this horse pasture location next. And to reach this location the next turn, I definitely want to get my guy with reach deployed in the next turn. I'll have enough money to do so to reach this capital and take out Lu Ju by turn perhaps 7. We'll see. So anyways, pretty good overall start here. We're building it up as fast as we can, and I can actually, how fast is it to build the state workshop? 2 turns. I can definitely build that up a bit faster. Okay, I think we're good here. Let's go. Okay, so we got a title of Steward of the Shango Palace because we got 3k or more money per turn in projected income at the start of the turn, which is good because that's good for like getting extra 10% in income from commerce and administrative location, which will be good to give to this lady who actually has another title at the moment. So we'll switch that one up to that one. And then here, let's put in this location, as I mentioned, Mr. Sao Yun here. Reduce construction costs greatly. Let's get the state workshop constructed. We're not going to build it automatically. And in here, we're going to get even more recruitment cost reduction for cav units by pushing towards this direction. And we need to do night battles, but we'll just do it. And let me see if I need the reach guy to get to this major region over to the end there. If I go over... Oh, wow, we can actually reach. That's great. This lady, though, needs to get recalled. She needs more health. But yeah, we'll get that back. And then continuing here. Oh, he's unhappy. So Gongsun Shu is good for missile units. So he works well for the White Horse units. But we want to use him as an administrator down the line, because we don't want Sao Yun deployed in this location. Let's give this guy scholarship here. And from here, we don't got... Oh, nice. We got the control 5 regions north of the Yellow River. But if we look at that title, what does it give? One. Oh, here it is. So plus 5% speed for own retinue and 5% more campaign. Oh, 10 expertise. And that's good, especially with Dreadbringer on Sao Yun. Okay, this is great. We're moving on pretty well. We're getting this place built up. And in here as well, we'll get this place up and running. I think we can just start constructing it now. What does he have here? Seems food and whatnot. Yeah, we can start building this up if we want to. I'll deconstruct it if I don't necessarily need it. Gongsun Shu is very unhappy. I'm not going to change his title though. We'll keep him with Chief of Records for now. And as for this lady, let's just get a little bit more money where she is. So let's give her Steward of the Shango Palace for now. And then I'll switch her to General of the Left when I recruit her full retinue. So I can get this place with a full garrison in case Zhuan Chao pushes towards us when he declares war. Alright, and to finalize the turn, I've instantly finished the construction of the state workshop in this location and started building up the iron mine to get this extra garrison, because it's good combat potential units that the mines have. That's going to help us in overall military strength. Additionally, I've given another title to Gongsun Shu because I want to remove the low satisfaction penalty that I have to remove that minus 25% character experience. So he has a very steep plus 400 character salary at the moment that's hurting me. But we'll manage it for now and maintain him in my faction, as I actually want him to become an administrator to hold one of these positions while Sao Yun is deployed and Gongsun Shu has a retinue available in the garrison to help my overall military strength, and also cost a choke point. So Yuan Cha, if he attacks from this direction, he won't necessarily want to, while I basically flank from this direction completely. I believe that will be it here. Let's continue. So Han Fu decided to declare war here. That's okay. We'll manage against them. All right, continuing here, I finished constructing the small city in this location so I can get this garrison up and running. And then I got temporal labor housing as I finished constructing the tier 1 instantaneously and just started building up this one because I want to get it to level 3 by the time spring comes in turn 9, I believe. Then I can get that -1 recruit construction cost from slave mobilization. And I still got this iron pits being built here, and I have Gongsun Shu still in that position. And then Gongsun Shu did drop down, and I also gave a title to Yang Gan to actually make him a little bit happier. And then for Gongsun Shu, I dropped him down for 400 character salary per turn to 200, which drops down his overall happiness to 22. This guy's at 48, so I actually can give the stone pick to him. Now he's at 28, very good, so he can manage that. And now we can do this battle. I called in the lady that has the night battles yet again. And then I can utilize all 4 or 3 of these guys now to engage this army over here. And then let's do a night battle. Demon Surrender's not gonna work. Let's go.
Alright, so I'm hiding the lady in the back. I don't really need her for the battle. These 2 guys can take it on their own. So if we go here... Okay, nice. So he has rival with Gongsun Zan. He usually does. So Gongsun Zan should have extra bonuses to his stats. We need to wait for everybody to get a little bit closer. And then we're gonna go all the way in to actually grab the morale bonus that he has over in that direction. And from there, we should have an easier time dealing with it. Keep going, just keep going. He's not popping yielding earth, I believe. He almost is. He's under attack! Keep going, keep going. Going? Excellent. We can take out the horses together. Very good job. We're done. We'll take out the general together. Up on yielding earth, so he's gonna do some good damage. It's fine, he's not gonna inflict bonus damage on us, we can take him out. Go. Done. That guy's done, oh my god. There we go. Very good. And that's it. Alright. Probably is a heroic victory. Yep, that's it. Let's go.
All right, so we didn't get a chance to do the capture and release for him, but we'll just occupy and take the
This
settlement
belongs to us
and destroy this faction to get these bonuses of public order, population growth, and income from peasantry. Meh, for 5 turns. And then we have another mission, which is to destroy Juan Chao's faction for a similar bonus, or I think a little bit higher magnitude, for the public order and population growth against Juan Chao. All right, and then for this administrator here in Dai, it's gonna be a military one, so I'll utilize this location to recruit units. So I'll put Yan Gun here, just get the minus 15% recruitment cost and minus 1 construction time for military buildings in this region. All right, I've been doing a couple of things on this turn. One of them is I'm gonna ask for $241 from San Jan, because I've utilized some money to build up this commandery I just got, but I need a little bit more to recruit Li Jin, who appeared in my recruitment pool. I'm gonna give like $17 across 10 turns and 2 food across 10 turns to San Jan, get this money from him, and this should actually prevent him from potentially declaring war on me. Now, going back to what I was doing is, I was building up this location, and because I put a military person into this region, it actually reduces the construction time of this horse location. So I'm actually reducing upkeep and recruitment costs of horse units, and I also want to get them at as high starting recruit rank as I possibly can. So I want to build the conscription office building here on this turn. Now coming back here, I'm gonna get Li Jin, and I also put I think I mentioned this, Yang Gan into the military inspector location. So I got Jiling, and he's very pissed off, but we want to keep him as he's pretty good in combat purposes. Oh my god. And he's pretty high level, so he has a 41 happiness right now. He does have flexibility and then passion. That's what I really care about here. So I'm gonna go here, and I have a chance to put somebody into this position, into this location, and recruit units on turn 9. I definitely want to take advantage of that. And then I think here we're done with this position here. Sao Yun is staying there at least for now. And then I want to recruit Lu Zi, because I want to build an army that's composed of GSC, Sao Yun, and Lu Zi, which will be pretty damn deadly to confront the enemy. But these guys are very low health, so I need to actually get them back up to full health. So I'm actually going to redeploy them. And I want to get, let me see. I'm going to keep her around just for now. And then I think that will do for now. We got everything I need here. We're going to get this built up. Why the hell do we have low satisfaction? Okay, well. Let's see. At 43. Okay, she's at 56 actually. Damn. Yeah, I guess somebody's not happy. There's this guy, 47. Huh. Hey, he's okay. 40. What the hell's going on, man? Yeah, so we'll manage it with what we have. And then here, I'll put this guy on this assignment here in Dai, to get more replenishment or mustering turns up. Then I can keep pushing or build up my military strength in this location. And also, I want to recruit units in GSC's army for my administrators that I have. I can actually get them up with, what do you call it? So I can actually get them with as high level as possible, or as many administrators with retinues as I possibly can. Let's continue. All right, so the RNG is in our favor. Dong Zhuo has been killed, so there's a chance that we could actually do the confederation with him. To make it happen though, I need to save as much money as I possibly can. That includes even stopping building these things that I said I wanted to, in order to get more population growth, less construction time, etc. I'm gonna slow down my economic buildup to get my military buildup as high as I possibly can. So it's gonna get a bit crazy here. Now, I want to try to grab another major region, because if I grab another... but Hanfu is here, though.
I am not in the mood.
Yeah, he's a problem, because I would grab this region and then get an administrator there. Say, like... actually, I don't have characters of any other type that I can actually use. Huh. Well, I mean, I would do what I'm saying if I only had the characters to actually basically put into these positions. I guess I'll slow down with that. Now, coming back here, though. Assignment, let's get Jiling to reduce mustering turns, and then from there get an army built up faster. Now I want to get characters deployed that will help me reduce recruitment costs, like high instinct characters like GSC, and then I'll make him into his own army. Let's move her out. He's in the garrison, and then Sao Yun will also be his own army. So let's get him deployed. And then there's a couple of characters that I want to deploy. I have one more seasonal retinue deployment that I can take advantage of, which for example could be this lady right here that I can use. And then from there I have 5.5k that I can use at the moment. Cao Yun does not have... Okay, this is what we're going to do. So, Cao Yun, I don't necessarily want as an admin. I want him deployed, and then the admin will have free upkeep units, and that could be someone like Gongsun Zan. So what we're going to do is remove Cao Yun from this position. It's going to piss him off. He is at 23. And let's use him as general of the left to reduce recruitment cost reductions, or cost, whatever. And yeah, we'll do that with him. And then we're going to grab this dude and put him... Gonna work? Yes, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the commanderies don't appear where the positions of GSC. So, okay, we got that guy deployed now. So things are cheaper to build now. Well, not really. Actually, he has more expertise, Cao Yun does. So anyways, forget what I just said. Anyways, coming back here, we have General of the Left. And if we look at the CAF units, oh my god, 51 upkeep to recruit them. What in the actual world, and rank 8?
Your arrival is welcome,
All
my
right,
lord.
this army is now ready, or this garrison is now ready. So he'll be positioned over here. And then continuing, let's get... Okay, that's actually it. I can't really call in anybody else. And then I have 5.2k at the moment. I should have enough to get all the units that I need. I need to build up a full garrison for Gongsun Zan, for Yanggan, and then a full army here. It's turn 8. So if I were to try to do this... Let me see.
Serve peace.
How many more people do I need to deploy though? I need to deploy Yanggan, Gongsun Zan, and then Lu Shi. Okay, got it. Yeah, so 3 seasonal retinue deployments will be enough for the next turn. And I'll save the money for now, just in case. I might actually do better off cost a bit more. No, so let's just slow down for a second. I think we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can really pull off this Marriage Confederation with Dongzhuo. I think I can actually do it. If you don't get the pop-up to confederate Dongzhuo, or like Dongzhuo is gonna die, what I'd say is basically do exactly what I'm doing. Build up the 3 admins for these 3 positions to build up your military strength, and then build up a full army of White Horse Raiders, and then the Destroyers of Treasury and what's their name again? And Defenders of the Empire. Keep them deployed, and that full army should be strong enough to just basically ransack and take everything to the south. And if you need to change one of the White Horse Raiders to an artillery unit with Lu Ji, you can. Even 2 artillery units and like this Destroyers of Defenders of the Empire. You don't even need the Destroyers of Treasury because these guys have Unbreakable. You have all those White Horse Raiders, the artilleries, and a Defenders of the Empire with Unbreakable, and the AI will really struggle, even with a full army, to face you head on, with how good the characters you have are going to be. So I think we're... Oh shit, this guy's not happy. Yeah, I don't want unhappiness to hit me. There. Ah, Jesus. Everybody's so freaking unhappy. Okay, so I think we're good there. We'll keep these as they are for now. And then continue from there. I think 8k will be good enough. Alright, yep, and I have 2 more turns of minus 20% recruitment cost. We're going to keep taking advantage of that. Let's continue. Alright, continuing here, because I'm not going to get the -1 construction time, and I'm going to become a vassal of Dongzhuo, I think I can get more trade agreements than what I have right now. I think I'll have now a total of 3 possible, thanks to our heir and the reform that I just got. And then now let's build up the rest of my admins. Let's get Gongsun Zan. Now, I would give him a bunch of Jian swords, but I want to save money at this moment. So what I could do here is... just to make sure I have money, because I really need it for the shenanigans I'm going to try to pull off. Do this. And then let's get a bunch, because what happens is this guy's not going to get redeployed. He's just going to be an administrator for the rest of the campaign. So we're not going to recall this retinue. And this retinue is good enough for the combat potential that it brings to the table. So that guy's ready. And then I need 1650. Get this army ready. And then all these units, we're going to get them as high rank as possible. So let's get Mounted Lancer Militia yet again. Alright, this guy's ready. And then recall you. We still have 5.2k. Let's get Lu Zi deployed. Goodness, this is disgusting. Okay, Lu Ji is next. And there we go. Now, we want Lu Ji to be leading the army because he has precision, so he can get 10% more range firing rate for this army. This is going to be the commanding general. We still have General of the Left, which is helping us reduce recruitment costs as much as possible. So these units are still rank 8, and we want to take advantage of that. So let's get these guys deployed. And now our upkeep, our treasury is dropping like crazy. We have to take that into consideration. There we go. And then finally, these guys. So now if we look at this army, right? We barely have positive income at the moment. General of the left. Now we're gonna change to general of the right. Boom, we went up about 142 total dollars more. And this army is, we get to really high health by turn 11, which is when I need to do the confederation. And I need that because I need to be able to have as high possible military strength as possible for the confederations I'm trying to pull off. I have no more seasonal retinue deployment, so I have to take that into account. These guys are gonna stay still for now. And then look at these units. They have reached the max cap. Actually, I'm not even sure that's the max cap, but probably higher than the animation limit of 60 range fire rate. They have 62 ammunition. And these guys have 46, but dude, whatever, man. And then once we get fire arrows, like for this retinue, this is going to get really nasty. So yeah, this is just crazy. So anyways, I think with that, we can get really high overall. Let me see, -17 to get peace. Okay, not bad. I think I can get that even higher the next turn, definitely. And then I don't necessarily need this anymore. This one here. And save and get some money back. Yeah, just keep the money as it is for now. Don't mess with it because I need to get as much money as I can for the money shenanigans that I want to do on turn 11 by stealing money from factions that I'm gonna join war against, so I make Dong Zhuo even happier. So I think that will be it here. Let's continue. All right, and so it begins the long turn. It is now turn 10. And I need to make sure I marry Dong Ming into my faction so he doesn't become faction leader. Deng Peishan does on turn 11. So to do that, I'm gonna get peace with Deng Zhuo, become his vassal to open up the entire map so I can start doing marriage shenanigans and join war shenanigans to steal money and ancillaries from a lot of factions. And I'm just gonna give away things that I can just get back easily from Deng Zhuo. Ancillaries might be a little bit hard. So we're gonna just do this right now to just make it happen. And now the map has been opened up. So I want to start with my top priorities. I'm going to steal money and ancillaries and get to best friends with factions that do not have characters I want to marry into my faction. Then I'll join war against them so I don't have a large negative income. Then I'll be able to at least save by clicking enter, and you can just reload so you can continue, because there are crashes in this game. Like if you look at the skills of a character that you just recruited on that same turn, your game can crash. Even if you click going into the court, you can have a game crash, which sucks, but that's just how it works. So coming back here, I'm going to now just fast forward through all the deals that I'm going to be doing initially. And then I'll take a pause, talk about what I've done, and then work my way through the marriages that I want to do. Let's go. Alright, to summarize so far, I've acquired a lot of money by asking for the money and I don't think anybody had ancillaries from all these factions that I'm best friends with, and I manipulated them to get to best friends, and therefore I should be able to get peace with them within the next 10 turns. Aside from that, or basically take them out, as I want to push into the mountains to connect the settlements of Dongzhuo with my own. So now that I've done that, I also got trade agreements with Shishi and then with Con Rong as well. That's giving me a couple more resources, not tea, which is the one I wish I would get, but I don't got it right now. And aside from that, I have the capability now to get the main guarantee of autonomy, as I manipulated the friendship with Dongzhuo all the way to best friends by joining war against these factions that I basically extorted. And I also gave him little pennies, little by little, to get him to best friends. And now I can get guarantee of autonomy at a positive value, which Dongzhuo actually likes. So actually is trending towards actually a bit higher. So aside from that, there's a couple of factions that I want to do more deals with, like Han Sui. I want to get non-aggression packs, marriages with, because I want to get him and Ma Teng very happy with me, as I want to marry Ma Xiao into my faction. And Ma Teng is in a very bit of a precarious situation. He might actually be taken out. So anyways, we'll do deals with Han Sui here to make him a little bit happier with us. And then there's a couple of factions that I also want to marry characters from into my own. So let me just hover over them and we can just go over these factions real quick. Let me do Dongzhuo. And then these are people he's at war with, which is a lot. So of these factions that appear here, the ones I want to marry characters into my own, I'm going to go from bottom to the top. Zerong has a female with Clerk and a male. I can utilize her, use both of them for marriage pivot, so I keep a female available as a distant relative, and then I keep the male married to my own faction. And then if we continue upwards, we have Liu Yao, who has a Clerk daughter, but no other siblings to marry, so she's just a final marriage that we would end up doing to get the second Clerk. There's 2 out of 3 Clerk characters that appear on turn 1. The next one would be working my way up to Ma Teng. Then in turn 12, I would marry Ma Xiao into my faction. And then Han Sui, unfortunately, has, of the 3 siblings he starts out on turn 1, he only has 2 males. He doesn't have the female, so he doesn't work really well as a marriage pivot, except to lose a female that you have available and have a male available for marriage, which kind of more of a loss than a gain, since there's more male characters to marry in the campaign. So you will already occupy 1 space that you have. Liu Biao, we want to marry both of his characters, which is 2 males, to do marriage pivot again, but with a male available, mainly because we want the 3rd Clerk character that we can get on turn 1, which is his vanguard son Liu Shi. And then working our way up, 1 Quan is extremely important. he actually has 2 females, so his marriage pivot leaves a female available for marriage, and that's the one that helps us kickstart the marriage capabilities. Anfu is actually good for marriage pivot, but he ended up declaring war on me, so I can't get steal money from him, get anything with him, because I can't get out of this war that I'm at war with him right now. Sun Jian has Sun Che. We will get him if Sun Jian dies before turn 5. You can get Sun Che. That's just how how the campaign works, and that's RNG. So they get lucky here. We can get Sun Che as well. Cao Cao has Cao Ren, but with Cao Cao, I don't want to go to war against him because of his scheme, so we're not gonna exploit him. And then Juan Shao and Juan Shu together have characters of the same family. So I can marry Juan Anjian from Juan Shu's faction, and then from Juan Chao's I can marry Juan Tan and do the marriage pivot with a female left available. Yan Baihu has Yanju, great faction-wide bonus of 5% more melee evasion. Lu Cheng has whatever the name of that champion is, who has a great item or armor to start out with, a great character. We want to try to marry him as well. And then aside from that, I think I've mentioned everybody that I essentially want to here. So I do have available to start out for marriage purposes Gongsun Zan, which I need to be single by the start of the next, when the next turn happens. And then I also have his son, and then the girl that I adopted also has she's a distant relative. So I have a female available and 2 males, which is a great starter. It did cost me some good money to get her, but now I can just start doing the marriage shenanigans. I'm gonna fast forward through this. Just watch out for everything that I'm doing. Alright, to finalize the turn, I want to give a summary of everything that I have done here in terms of the marriages. So, if we go to our right, it's not really ordered by the people that I've... What the hell's not ordered? God damn it. So anyways, I've acquired a lot of characters into my faction, and those characters include both of the Liu sons of Liu Biao, one of them being a clerk, mainly that's why I wanted him, and the other one basically allowed me to continue the marriage tangent that I was running off of this family line. So let me get Liu Pingming as well. So that's two characters, Liu Qi and Liu Pingming with clerk, and then I also got Sejue. So that's all three characters that you can get on turn 1. Through marriage, I got them here on turn 10 that have clerk, which is great. And then I decided to recruit a couple of strategists additionally, which you can see that they're deployed in order to boost up my combat potential here. So all these units are going to help me bring it up that I can get the chance to confederate Dong Zhuo or Dong Peishan. Additionally, there's more characters that I ended up marrying. So from Juan Xiao and Juan Shu, I married Juan Tan and Juan Anjan, who had great items, and then Juan Tan is great to remove from Juan Chao's family line, so we remove the familial conflict if he's deployed, so I have an easier time dealing with the rest of the Juans, and he's a pretty good character as well. And then additionally, we got both of the Wan Quan daughters, which help me continue the family distant relative tree since they're both female. And then I also got Sun Che as one of the last marriages that I did. Dong Ming I did right before, so I could divorce him and remove him from my faction to make sure Dong Peishan becomes faction leader. And then from there, I think that will be it here. And then if we look here, Dong Peichou has 2 armies at the moment. So that means that if I confederate, I'll have 3 armies in total. Yeah, I have 3 armies limit at the moment. I have 2 armies deployed, which means that I won't potentially get this army. It might be Lubu's army. I have to be very careful here. I might lose out on getting Lubu. And then let me think. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to lose out on getting Lubu and Zhang Liao and Jiashu as well. And then, oh shit, I have minor strategic threat. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is based on combat potential as well, so I might shoot myself in the foot and get a major threat to us penalty from trying to confederate Dong Zhuo, which will further penalize my chance of confederating. Let me... Oh man, this is... Okay. let me do this. I just wasted a lot of money. We're gonna release all 3 of these strategists that I got and completely avoid potentially becoming a major strategic threat from having too much combat potential deployed or not deployed in the faction. And I think from there, I should be able to pull off the Confederation with Dong Peishan. Let's continue. All right. And then here, we're going to start the Dong Peishan Confederation. But first, I'm going to grab the items that she has, which include Dong Zhuo's sword, which becomes unequipped when he died. And then continuing, we can potentially grab some more items here. Let's see what else she has at the moment. He has the Breath and Wind Bow. Very good. And then request payment. Should have done this on the previous weapon as well to get the money right away. There we go.
We are in
And now we're going to continue here.
a joy to see.
Because we can basically get everything that she has at the moment before doing the Confederation, because we're going to marry through marriage. I'm not going to do a liberation, which depends on recently signed deals, which would actually make a penalty be of -50, which you wouldn't be able to overcome in this deal. But continuing with Dong Peishan here, make payment, request payment, down. Oh, that's it. All right, we got all her money,
To be cherished.
and now we're going to go here.
Welcome, friend.
Join -7.9, so it should be 8.0 here with the yellow turbans. Mother, what? Why? What dropped it down? Okay, so I think what I can do is I want to definitely get Lubu's army. I don't get Li Joy's, it is what it is. But if I go over here, right? Let's raise a second army. Make sure that Sun Shi's in it and that he can move afterwards. Okay, yeah, don't disband those units. And then let's go back here.
Welcome, friend.
Yes. Girls. Yes. Okay, so that will do it. So you can actually make it easier. If you get a courageous warrior role with her, you can do request permission to join war if you want to join war against somebody, and it'll be positive. You're requesting to declare war. A courageous warrior as a vassal master is phenomenal, because when you try to join wars, they'll give you a lot of money for it, and in this case, will help you get this what do you call it, confederation down. So now we have done it.
We are in sympathy in
We
this.
have Dong Peishan in our faction, or confederated Dong Peishan. Let's get all these deals signed. Very good.
We approve this.
We approve this.
Very nice.
Offer is accepted.
A successful bid.
Okay, and with that out of the way, there's a lot more deals that I want to do. Now, I want to talk about something very important. I shouldn't be able to get peace with a lot of factions right now because we have recently signed war declarations, which are causing very steep penalties. Like if I go to Juan Chao, for example, I have recent war declaration at -27, and I'm a major threat right now. Probably because of this army. I became moderate. I think when I did the Confederation, I might have become moderate. Yeah, so this army being deployed also does not help at the moment with what I'm trying to do here. And then
How may I
let's
serve?
disband her. Make sure he keeps moving forward. Let's get to the edge here. And then I need to actually clean up a lot. All right. And now we're in a position where I have finalized everybody that I want to have into respective positions of power. Now, let me go over why who I've put in what positions. I've put generic characters that I do not want to have deployed into their respective inspector positions because I want them to boost up my military strength without being deployed. And all these major unique characters that I've acquired, I want to actually utilize them in battle. And then Zhang Liao is a great administrator, which I will actually deploy. But I actually still want to have him as an administrator, as I don't necessarily have other sentinels that I necessarily want on the battlefield. But neither do I want them as administrators because they can do assignments at this time. If I have one more sentinel, then I just remove Zhang Liao from here and then put a generic. But right now, this will do. As for the rest of the people that are at the top, these are the uniques that I have at the moment that I wanted to boost up their overall satisfaction. I've married Cebu into the faction, or sorry, what's his? Oh, why can't we see him? Let's see. Oh, Lu Jun. So I spent some money to get neutral attitude from Lu Cheng in order to marry Lu Jun into the faction, as he has a lot of great items. I've unequipped them and I just have him laying around at the moment. I also got an aggression packs / military access or a military access agreement with certain factions on the western front. Ma Teng, Han Sui, and Liu Yang. I want to prevent wars with them and be friendly with Ma Teng because I want to have the chance to marry Ma Xiao into my faction. and then that will give me basically all the unique characters that I would want, except maybe Yan Yu and Cao Ren this early in the campaign. And I want to get peace with a lot of factions that I'm currently at war with, but I have to wait until the recent war declaration goes down in value so I can make it happen. I can form a coalition with Kong Rong as well, and Liu Bei wants peace because he's best friends with me. I have to wait to do that. So basically, I also got all these guys with retinues, Lu Kang and Luo Jun, with retinues, and then recalled them as same thing as Zhang Liao, so they're ready to just be into administrative positions and boost up that military strength. In terms of my selections that I did for Marquis and second Marquis, I got 2 more armies slots, and then I got 1 spy slot, and then I went for, let me see, what did I go for? I believe I went for 1 more army and 1 more spy and 1 administrator, so I can get Zhang Liao on the 5th commandery or 6th commandery that I have. And then the rest were assignments. I have a total of, I believe, 3 assignments at this moment. Yeah. So with that, I'll basically put people with supervised construction, and I recalled Jiashun from being deployed, or Jiashu from being deployed, so I can use them for reward the filial and corrupt, and therefore help stabilize my locations. And I have I'm starting to get a lot of corruption. I'm at negative 16%, negative 17% depending where I'm standing. I definitely want to fix that. And reward the filial and corrupt is definitely going to help with doing that. So, yep. And then over here, I basically changed 2 units that, what do you call it? Lubu starts out with giving him White Horse Fellows instead of the generic melee units that he has. Now he has as high campaign movement range as he can get. And I'm basically going to utilize him to mass move. Basically, around here, annex these regions, and potentially go to battle against Shenzhen and take her out, as Lubu is pretty damn strong as he is. So I'll continue the campaign for a little bit longer and just try to get all of this into a more stable situation by reducing the amount of wars that I'm in, potentially get Ma Xiao into the faction, and just maybe try to make a bridge connection across the mountains to connect my regions in the west with my regions in the east. Let's go. So I want to show y'all something that is very broken in this game. If you're able to confederate Dong Peishan, which I have found a way to do it without using exploits, is that you actually get the chance. The turn, I think only after the confederation, it might be actually the turn that you confederate her as well, that you actually, listen, okay, you don't have Imperial Intrigue unlocked. Let's just start there, right? But then you go to another faction, like for example Ma Teng, and I've gotten him to very friendly, so I can marry Ma Xiao into our faction. It's a 7.9. Okay, fine, whatever, we can make this happen. But then look at this. You can issue an Imperial Decree. I repeat, you can issue an Imperial Decree. Where is this Imperial Decree of -25 coming from? I don't know, but we're gonna use it. And that's an insane value of 35. 30 freaking 5.5 to make this happen. And because we can do this, we can start basically asking for settlements because we can afford it. I mean, dude, like, okay, dude, do whatever the hell you want. I mean, it's like free reigns here. And then you go here and then request payment. Let's get some money out of the dude. Let's go down. There we go. And then we make this happen and then get another silk location. He's still really happy about it. We'll make this happen. Boom. We're done there. And then, okay, let's see. I haven't actually tried this. Let's go to another faction. See if we can use it more than once. We go to Hansui and we do, hey man, I want to get this location here. And it appears that we cannot use it. All right. And continuing, we're going to put here or get $1,350. Marry San Jianjian and divorce her from San Jian's faction. And here get peace with him, so therefore we're able to remove yet another enemy that we have at the moment. All right, I stopped constructing the Silk Road Trader that I was building up in Hansung to have enough money to marry or to adopt the chick that I just married into my faction from San Jian's faction, so I can utilize for marriage purposes in the peace deals that I'm trying to get. Oh my god, dude, what in the world is going on? Okay, all right, and here we're going to vassalize Liu Bei. And the man guarantee of autonomy, give him 2 silver items, whatever the hell he wants, and do a marriage in order to get this positive enough to make it happen. And this is gonna really help my strategic level and therefore get more peace deals. All right, to summarize the things that I've done this turn, I've put reward the villain and corrupt in my capital to reduce its corruption. And then I did select an option to improve relationship with Jiling and Gongsun Zan. Or another one was a generic character that I didn't care about. And then I married Dong Pei-shan to Ma Xiao. And after that, I signed a peace deal with Han Fu. And that basically was going to help me basically only have Yuan Zhao coming towards me. And right now he doesn't border me. You can see it because this settlement here belongs to Huan Chao, who I'm not at war with for now. But I am at war with Yuan Chao, who controls the areas below him. And then from there, I married San Jian, who is the daughter of San Jian, who is directly southwest of us. And from there, I divorced him, kicked him out of the faction. I believe I gotta check that out. And then after doing that peace deal, I adopted... Oh, sorry, I adopted her. Whoa, damn, I totally forgot this. I adopted her into the family. And then I married her to the character, the Sentinel, that Liu Bei has. And from there, I was able to get positive enough with Liu Bei to get a vassalization off and not have to guarantee autonomy to make it happen. And with that done, I also did... I think that was basically it. In terms of buildings that I've decided to build, I'm demolishing the rural tax collector over here to improve public order. And then I'm also on this front over here building up the irrigated farms to get more food. Here I'm building up the Jade Craftsman, and then on this one I want to get more money to build the labor conscription housing, so I have it completed. I can do actually the next turn. I can get -1 construction time faction wide. And then over here I gave Lu Bu General, who gets tranquility to the north, so he gets 5% more campaign movement range and a bit more melee evasion. And then I also gave the guy who's unhappy, Gongsun Chu, I gave him a little wooden fish to get him just a little bit happier at 27 happiness. And then if I look at active spies, there's nobody that I really want to get at this moment. We're gonna head downstairs here, engage this person, boom. And then there's our rebellion mustering on the settlement that I grabbed from Ma Teng, and I'm gonna release her because I want him to get good faction wide leadership based bonuses.
I have little need of
Going.
the battle.
The problem is that she's basically retreating in the direction that I don't want her to retreat. So yeah, there's that.
Let them go, that they remember.
Because I want to be able to reach over here.
Strike swiftly.
Okay, nice. I can reach it in 2 turns.
This will not happen.
1 turn?
Gather your strength.
Okay, yeah. There we go. That'll be good. And then from here, I think... Oh, on this front. Time to start pushing against Sanjan. So let me see if I take Sun She. Damn, he can't reach. Really? What?
Marching.
Hate the mountains, man. Here. Here. And then with Sanjan, we have to play the game of... like, if they're playing Skaven, I actually shouldn't get Sun She this close to where he is at the moment. I need to be moving in ambush and then have this person who's visible outside of the reinforcement range, so the enemy is stuck engaging the main army that I have at the moment. So anyways, that will be it here. I don't think there's more shenanigans that I want to do. I just got to take care of the rebellion mustering on this front and keeping taxations on the ground to get public order stabilized, and we can continue from here. All right, here I'm gonna get a non-aggression pact with Liu Yao to stabilize things with other factions throughout the map that I don't care about doing any other deals with. Create vassal. No, nobody that I really want to create as a vassal. Form coalition. Is there a major? Oh, Ma Teng wants to form a coalition because he just got off his... Oh, but he's weak, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, he's not doing too hot, man. And then Chishin, no. Zarong, no. Luchong. Okay, so Liu Biao is trending positive right now. Oh, yeah, dude. This guy's done. Okay.
Your proposal is sound.
So that'll get him even more positive. And then if I try to get a coalition with him, how much is it right now? Should be pretty negative. If I go to Liu Biao, right? And then I trend them upwards, make payment. Here we go.
We are obliged to you for this kindness.
And again.
Excellent. Talk.
Very good. So with that, he's very friendly. So I'm going to go again. And then form coalition. Still too negative to make it happen. Alright, whatever. We'll let him be. And then if we go to check active spies, we don't have the money right now because I decided to build a couple of buildings. I believe I clicked here to build the Liber conscription housing. I finished building the port here with instant construction. I'm building the temporary labor housing. And then on these fronts, nothing else. And then I need to move out with these guys. But I wanted to see if there was anything else that I wanted to do in diplomacy. So there's nobody that really wants peace right now. So we'll keep them as they are. An aggression pact, nobody. Military access. Where is Liu Biao? Did I already do the deal with him? I believe I did. Lu Shang actually likes me for some reason. So we're going to take this and accept it. Yeah, Juan Shu's getting more pissed off. So let me go to Juan Shu because he's actually going to become a little bit of a problem. Here, let's go to Juan Shu.
A pleasure.
And then get peace. -11. Really? Damn. Wow. Not expect that. So if I try to make this happen, I can offer food too. And then if I make payment. There we go. So yeah, with the non-aggression pact, he won't necessarily be a problem, and I can keep focusing on the other directions that I have potential enemies coming from. So we're done with him. Lu Shang is gonna get a bit more mad, and so is Liu Biao, but everybody else actually gets happier, so we're good with that.
As you wish.
And then continue. He doesn't really respect deals, so we'll probably end up at war with him. And in terms of remaining peace deals that I can do, I definitely want to get peace with Sun Jian. So if I go here,
Glad to see you.
aggression, do food, make regular payments. And then what this does is, this is actually kind of broken. What this will do is, it'll hamstring Sun Jian, as he won't necessarily be grabbing any more regions of the Han Empire unless he ends up declaring war on them. So with that, we got peace with him. And then from there, let's see.
Well met, friend.
Yep, non-aggression. Alright, let's do that.
This meets our approval.
So we're done there. There's still a couple more factions that I'm at war with, but I'm gonna take out the bandits, and then I don't care about Liu Dai. And then Yuan Shao is our big enemy, so we have to try to manage him. So yeah, I think from there, we're left with a very good position. And then in terms of potential coalitions, I don't think I can get anybody else into coalition right now. No, that's okay. And then on this front, let's move Liu Bei to take out this rebellion. Or sorry, Lu Bu to take out this rebellion. Very good.
Another knot to my bow.
Get money. And then let's just put him here
What occurred in my
to replenish a little bit more because we're in winter. And then on this front, we need to grab this region.
At ease.
Nice, he can actually engage it.
through conquest.
Okay, step right there.
Strike quickly.
Okay, no, he can't.
Let
There we
desire
go.
shape and guide passion.
Oh, okay.
Despite all odds. What do
And
you
then
wish to
he
know?
needs more,
For harmony. I would meet with my advisors.
yeah, he needs more actual, what do you call it, military supplies. I think that leaves us in a very good position here, and we have high satisfaction. So this is actually helping me get more money, as I have minus 10% corruption across my regions, which actually I had minus like 17 across many of them. So this actually is helping me out a lot. And then here we're a moderate diplomatic threat, so that's causing us to struggle a little bit to get deals done. But I think we're in a good place here. Let's continue. All right, on this turn 14, I rolled the faction council until I got both the character personality trait reroll for Lu Bu, and then the character skill tree reset for Lu Bu. And then I also want to get acquire ancillary set item, which I can get from this one. I'm gonna miss out on the +2 additional buildings can be constructed and -1 construction time, but I want to get Lu Bu with reach, and this will let me do that. And I want to remove disloyal from him. So if I go to Lu Bu now, which I actually moved all the way over here from Wudu towards the east. Now, he had a point in intensity. I did not care about that. And then what we can do is, we can work our way down to get all the way to Dragon's Gaze, okay? We can get Dragon's Gaze already, which is disgusting. And then there's also Smothering Fury. And then Zeal is also good. So he already has 25 melee attack rate, which is great. And then Smothering Fury is also phenomenal. So I would say that we can just give him Smothering Fury, and then once we levels up again, which he needs about 40,000 more XP, then I can get him Zeal after that. But I think Smothering Fury will actually do for now. And then with that, homie has all of these points, and then he doesn't have this loyal anymore. He has freaking kind, which is great, as he, if ever put him into a position of power, then he can get +5 satisfaction faction wide. Not like it's actually great. Oh shit, I didn't click everything. Oh, here. All right, there we go. We got all of that done. And then coming back over to this front, I do want to get more money. Now, I want to set up this army just to showcase how freaking strong it is. That's just, I mean, just how cute it is. That's another way to put it. So I want to give units, like, for example, for Cao Yun, he does have General of the Right that's really helping me reduce the amount of upkeep that this army actually costs. But I can give this retinue freaking poison arrows, which is nasty. Now, I already have Ignore Forest penalties, or he does at least, and Gongsun Zan cannot equip the title, so I can't give him anything there. But if I look at Lu Zi, I can actually get Ignore Forest penalties for his retinue if I want to. He does not have yet the fire arrows, which I do want him to have. So I can get a combination of fire arrows from this retinue, and then on this one, I can get the poison arrows. So it's gonna cost me a big difference in total upkeep, but I just want to showcase this. For this battle here, yeah, so about $500 total difference. But now we have poison arrows, which is disgusting, especially for missile calf. And then I have the capability here to change any of these units if I want to into artillery. So let's do this in order to get the enemy into a bit of a pickle here with the power of the trebuchets hitting him. And then we should be able to that actually cost me to drop there. Yeah, let's actually not get that done. Let's go over here to engage Sanjan, who is not attacking me, so he doesn't pull a Skaven on my ass. And then I go over here.
Strike now.
And then it is a crushing defeat, but it's gonna be a lot better than the game actually says. Let's go. All right, and to showcase this army, I've put all of these guys into loose formation, fire at will. And then I'm gonna put guard mode so they don't go off chasing people that I don't need them to actually be chasing. And I just keep engaging units as they're coming towards me. And then over here, I put these guys hiding with the splash attack cav unit and then Gongsun Zan. I put these guys in turtle formation as they will have unbreakable and the enemy will surround them. So what I'll do here is I'll first move these guys forward to shoot down Sanjan. And then basically after that, have an easier time dealing with the other two people that are in the picture. Let's move these two guys forward. And then we're just going to shoot at these guys over here. Let's get these guys closer in case anything funky business happens.
Impressive, but foolish. Such empty words.
For the cause.
Come on, take him out. There you go. He does have mending, but he's not popping it, which is great.
Moment to prepare. I can wait. Talk.
Almost done. Almost done. Are we missing?
Attend. Strike them down.
The enemy generals.
Nice.
Ha!
Quick march. The time has come. Run.
Sure.
Be everywhere and nowhere.
Sure.
Ready. The time has come. Stop.
No attention!
Very
You
good.
seem to be struggling. Need some help?
Is that your best? Come on,
right, let's get these guys
try
forward.
harder.
March on the double. Go, go, go. Run. Move out quickly. Move. Double time. Hurry. Move. Run. Move quickly. Hurry. Move. March on the double. Go, go, go.
warriors. Attend.
Stand ready. Time.
Make ready. Move out quickly. Move.
Get in your horsey? Come on, dude. Nice.
Attend.
Die if you cannot surrender.
Double time. Make ready. To battle. Move. To attention. Go. Our victory grows ever closer. Run. Stand ready. Cavalrymen. The time has come.
Make sure we start taking out all these units. Make sure they all shatter.
Fury.
Very good.
Our success looms large.
Kill them! Do not relent! Ready, righteous warriors! Ready! Take heed, warriors! Steel yourselves! Cavalry, mount up! Run! March at the double! Faster! The time has come! Stand ready! At the ready! Double time! Ready! Prepare! Form up, warriors! Make ready! Horses, stand ready! Show no mercy! Hurry! Move! Steel yourselves! Fight! Attack! Strike! Attack! Move! Charge! Move out quickly! Destroy them! Do not relent! To attention! Go! To attention! Take heed, warriors! Move! Run! March at the double! Show no mercy! Prepare! Ready! Steel yourselves! The time has come! Faster! Cavalry to attention! Missiles! Fire! Move out quickly! Hurry! Move! Double time! Run! Move! Stand ready! Unleash fury! To battle! Make ready!
Avoid the AP damage. That's the real dangerous part.
Ready! Mounted soldiers! Attend! Destroy them!
There you go. That should shatter them.
Enemy unit flees. What cowards!
Nice. Alrighty. Get out. Let's stop shooting ourselves, and we're done. But anyways, it's not really worthwhile to execute. Here, let's just occupy. And then from there, we grab another region. They're very low level, though, so I have to try to get them all up and running there. We got that. We gotta try to get this mine as well. And then from there, rotate up to the north towards that direction up here. And then coming back here, I don't think I can equip this one again, so I still got that money. Monetary loss there from equipping the poison arrows. And then on this front, I want to get all the way over towards the mountain area. And then I do have some characters that I could get as turncoats if I had enough money, but I'm not gonna do that. Danjan wants peace right now because he got his booty kicked, but we got all those locations in the north that we want to grab for ourselves.
Excellent. Talk.
We can almost get the but anyways, so it's now turn 14. I think we're in a state where I can just leave the campaign. So let me put it this way. I've been saying Lubu can go towards the mountains. It's not really a necessity. You can actually rotate back to the right and build up an entire army with, let me see with who. I would say a full Vanguard army will do with Sun Che, Ma Shao, and Lubu. And then build it full of cav units again because they're all pretty high rank. They're level 3, so they can get the White Horse raider units. I believe Ma Chao is level 3 as well. Yeah, and you got the Xian units as well. You got the heavy shell, and you can build a full cav army, a full cav unit army, and then from there basically rush out to basically take out what's the Gongdu over here, and you have no enemies on the western front. And then additionally, we still want to basically keep grabbing locations in the mountains to grab two of the best wealth locations in the game, which is Taijian and Hedong completely. And then from here on out, what I want to do is basically clean out the rest of the mountains, have no enemies in the north, and from there I can actually focus on Zhuan Shao, which I always get this icon to know where his army is. And then after I complete that, I could get peace with Zhuan Shao if you want to, right now. And then from there, just finalize things. And then additionally, we have Liu Bei as a vassal. He can actually be annexed if you want to, but it's gonna kick up corruption like up the wazoo. Have to be very careful with that. So what I would do is keep him as either a coalition member or a vassal, and from there you end up in a very nasty little situation. And in terms of anybody else that's not deployed, in terms of what they're doing, I would still put GSC as leading an army if possible, when it's not like a major army where we need the range firing rate of Lu Zi, because there's two things. He is leading an army, and because of the amount of armies that he has at the moment, he should be giving, unless it's bugged, because I thought it might have been, he should be giving +5 satisfaction faction-wide when commanding. So if I look at this guy, authority from people in power, maybe he's giving it. No, because this +5 does not come from what I'm talking about. I'm not actually sure, if actually it's there or not. So anyways, I think this would be a good spot to leave it at. I really want to thank y'all for watching, and I hope to see y'all on the next one. Bye-bye.